Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So today is going to be my update for my Eyeshadow Roulette and Pan That Eyeshadow project. So I have all 5 of my palettes that were in for the month of February right here. But before I get into that, I want to talk a little bit about this project. I thoroughly enjoyed doing this project last year, and I thought I was ready to start it up again and get some good use out of some specific shades in my collection. But doing it this past month, I realized that I would rather just reach for whatever palette I felt like wearing on any given day. So having 5 shades to focus on kind of stopped me from doing that a little bit, I guess. So I think I'm going to take another break from this project. I know I only did one update for this year, but I think I have an idea for a new project that I would like to start on my channel that will just be a little bit more relaxed and allow me to reach for more palettes in my collection throughout a given month. So I will be uploading that introduction next week. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that video if you are interested. But for this video, we can just get into the progress that I made this past month. So the first palette I had rolled in was my I Heart Revolution Sleeping Beauty palette, and I had the shade Maleficent. So I will insert a picture of what that one looked like. And here is where this one is today. So I only used this one once over the past month. I didn't get much use out of these shades this past month. Like I said, I was just more inclined to reach for what palette I chose each day instead of my focus palettes. But I did get one use out of this shade, which for a green shade is honestly pretty good. And this shade isn't the best performing shade. It packs down pretty nicely, but to try and blend it out, it just goes away. So it's a shade I definitely do need to test out more to see how I like to use it, but I did only get one use this past month. Next palette I had in was my Bebella Cosmetics Lotus Love palette, and I had the shade Purity. So I'll insert a picture of what that one looked like. And here is where we are today with this shade. So I did use this one 3 times. So you can start to see a little bit of a dip right in the center of the pan. This shade is beautiful for an inner corner highlight. That is how I found that I really enjoy using this shade. It's also super pretty all over the lid as well, but I think I mostly just used it as an inner corner highlight. And it's definitely one I do see myself getting a ton of use out of in the future. I just wasn't super reaching for these shades over this past month, but 3 uses was okay. I did get to test it out a little bit, and I do know that it is one that I'm going to really enjoy reaching for in the future. Alright, next up we have my Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette, and I had the shade Angelic from this palette. So I will go ahead and insert a picture of what that one looked like. And here is where we are today with this shade. So I only used this one twice, which of course isn't a lot. But like I said, I just didn't get much use out of these shades over this past month, which is a little sad, but I see no problem with reaching for this palette and this shade in the future. It is one I do enjoy, and I am happy to have at least gotten a couple uses out of the shade, even though you can't really see much difference. It is a very nice shade to just use all over the lid, and I will enjoy using it later on as well. Alright, next we have my Essence Salute Perry palette. So I had rolled in shade number 4 from this palette, so I will go ahead and insert a picture of what that one looked like. And this one was my most used shade with a whole 4 uses. So still not good, but I do think you can see maybe a little bit of progress starting in this shade. This is a really nice initial transition shade for more cool tone mauve looks. And I really did enjoy reaching for it just those 4 times over this past month. And it's definitely one of my favorite shades in this palette, super easy to use. So once again, I see no problem using this one in the future. I just didn't get a ton of use out of it this past month, but it is still a really nice shade, and the shades are pretty soft, so I do think you can start to see maybe a little bit of progress starting to form in the pan there. And last up is my I Heart Revolution Raspberry Donut palette. And from this palette, I had shade number 3, which was the center shade. So of course, I will insert a picture of what that one looked like. So this was the shade I had rolled in, the center shimmer shade right here. And I did use this one twice. You can see a little bit of use in this pan. This palette is one that I definitely struggle with. This shade that I had in is definitely my favorite in this palette, but that's honestly not a super big accomplishment. The 3 mattes in here just do not perform well. I have tried using them on multiple occasions, and they just do not show up. They blend away, and it's honestly a little bit frustrating, but the center shade that I did have in is really beautiful, and I know that if it was in a different palette, I would get a ton of use out of it. So I do just kind of consider this one a companion palette at this point. I will reach for it if I am using it with another palette that has mattes that I actually prefer. But I do still want to keep it because, one, I think it is super cute, and the shimmers in here still do perform nicely, so I want to get as much use out of those 2 as I can before I maybe declutter this in the future. So those are the 5 shades I had in for the month of February. It's not a whole lot of progress, but I think I did use them a good amount of times for how much I was actually reaching for them. So this is usually the point in the video that I would roll in 5 new shades, but I am of course going to skip this part because I am starting a new project instead of this one, but I will go ahead and update my Pan That Eyeshadow project. So my Pan That Eyeshadow shade comes from my Rude Cosmetics Roaring 20s Reckless palette, and it is the shade Swanky. So I will go ahead and insert a picture of how that one started at the introduction of this round. So here is where we are now with this shade. So as you can see, there is some disturbance in the pan here. I did use this one 5 times since rolling it in, which isn't a whole lot, but it is a purple shade, and purple isn't a color that I wear on a daily basis, even though I do really enjoy it. But I am happy with the amount of progress that I have started on this shade, and will definitely continue this project. So I might only update this project over on my Instagram now that I'm not also doing my Eyeshadow Roulette project, but I will definitely continue to give updates over there. If you would like to follow me over on Instagram, I will link my page in the description box, and I'd be really happy if you would go follow me over there. But I will continue to give updates for this project over on Instagram, and hopefully we'll get to hit pan on this shade soon. Okay, my camera memory card filled up, so I had to quickly go switch that out. But what I was saying is I think this is going to take me a couple more months at least to hit pan on. I'm only at 5 uses, and this was a pretty much untouched shade when I rolled it in. But I think maybe around like 20, 25 more uses, I could definitely get a pan in this. So I'm definitely going to keep working at it and hopefully have some more progress to share next update. So that will conclude my updates for my Eyeshadow Roulette and Pan That Eyeshadow projects. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future uploads. Like I said, I'm going to be introducing a new project to my channel next week, so definitely stay tuned for that. And please let me know what else you might like to see from me in the future. And with all of that said, I will see you all in my next video. Bye!